young guys. This was over the weekend, a day ago. Alec Bohegian, pardon me if I'm saying that wrong. He tweeted to Carmichael Dave, said, "From your mouth to Vivek's ears, I would watch that team win 15 games and be thrilled about it." Carmichael, when he says the team, he's talking about Maxime Reynaud, Keegan, Clifford, Keon, and Devin Carter. Carmichael Dave says, "This is the thing I love about our fan base. They get it. I wish the franchise would believe this." So,
oh man, do we really got to talk about this?
Well, I would like to, because there are so many people now that are getting so excited about what they're seeing that they're starting to think about, or they already are climbing on board this, whatever it is, this play the young guys bandwagon.
No, because, what that tweeter said is, I'd watch this team, all whatever he said.
Yeah.
Notice he ain't say, I'd pay to see that team. We'd all watch the team as long as it's free on TV and I can sit and watch it. But are you paying your money to come out? Are you getting sellouts at the G1C? Are you getting 15 to 17,000 on a nightly basis to see them? When they're 3-33, are you still coming out? See, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And as good as these guys look during the summer league, it's a huge difference. Because here's the thing. People are so negative about DeMar and Zach and the current team. And I'm like, we really haven't even seen these guys yet. Like, let them go. I think they deserve an opportunity to show us what they really can do with the full camp and a full training camp and preseason and off season. Like, it's amazing that so many people are so negative against our guy. I'm telling you, as Rick Pitino said, Chris Webber ain't walking through that door. Mike Bibby ain't walking through that door. Paige ain't walking through that door, Kings fans. We got to allow these. Let me see what Zach and DeMar and Domas with a Dennis Schroeder, with our young rookies. Give me 20 to 30 games this upcoming season before you jump off the bandwagon and say, why are we miserable on July 14th? It's so
it is interesting. Yeah, it is. It's great that Kings fans already are getting so enthusiastic about the young players, because as I mentioned earlier, just a few weeks ago, people didn't have much hope for the future of this team, the short-term, long-term future. Now a lot of fans are looking at it going, wow, this is great. Now how we get from that to, wow, this would be great. It's too bad we have the veterans. That I don't understand. Right. I do think there's this misguided notion that you see in all sports. Sometimes fans think, just play the young guys. That's all you have to do. Why not? And sometimes that's not the best idea. And I think it's a little short-sighted to think, you just play these young guys, they develop faster, and everything's great. And it just would be short-sighted to do that. You've got veterans on your roster. If you got rid of them now, you'd get nothing back. You would not get value back. And what really would you be gaining? So we're in an interesting spot here, but I think we have to keep in mind the fact that it's good. Things look like they're trending in the right direction. That's a good thing. That's not something to go, oh, it's too bad we have all these veterans. I don't quite understand that.
Yeah, exactly. And, the thing about it, I was there in Boston when Tatum and Brown came on. They had veterans on that team too. It wasn't like, all right, Tatum and Brown, you're the guys. Just go out there and play 40 minutes and have fun and, compete. No, they had the Kyries, the Al Horfords, the Isaiah Thomases on the team that sort of, kept them, showed them the ropes, if you will. And so I just don't get, what has DeMar or Zach done in Sacramento that leads people to be so negative towards them?
That's a good question.
If they were, not playing, or I'm gonna sit this one out tonight, coach, faking injuries and things like that. Why? Whitey, I'll tell you what. We have great fans, but we also got some fans that are just, I don't even want to say the word. It's so frustrating.
Fans are gonna fan.
Yeah, but I've been in other markets. This doesn't happen like this. This is ridiculous. I didn't hear anybody say, Oh, Marcus Smart, why we need to sit him down in Boston. Oh, why are we playing Isaiah Thomas? Why are we playing, Kyrie Irving? Like, it's ridiculous. DeMar's been here 1 year. Zach's played 30 games in Sacramento, and people are already turning on. That's not the Kings fans that I thought I knew when I got here. I
Yeah,
thought we were a loyal fan base. I thought we supported our guys. It's not.
I,
It's not sounding like it to me.
I strongly disagree with the idea that the veterans are going to impede the progress of the young guys you have on the roster the next year. Oh, they should be playing a lot. Kind of reminds me of when Farhan took over the Giants, and 2020 was the COVID year, so everything was out of whack. But he had guys like Brandon Belt and Crawford, and a lot of fans like, just get rid of all those guys and just play the young guys from the minor leagues. And it's like, they're not ready. That would not be a good idea. And in 2021, they won 107 games, so it's a good thing they kept those veterans around. It's just kind of a knee-jerk notion that play the young guys. You have nothing to lose, and you have a lot to lose. In fact, sometimes if you don't do it right, those young guys don't become the players that they could become. And if we're being totally honest and fair and objective, you also have the option of seeing how it goes. And if things do not go well, you come up to the trade deadline, all those options, things that you're talking about now, those would also still be out in front of you. There's just no reason to pull that lever or push that button now. It really doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And to your point, let's say we just run it with the young guys. What if they develop some bad habits?
Exactly.
What if losing becomes the culture around? I go back. I always say, Kawhi Leonard, as great as he is, I don't know if he becomes Kawhi Leonard without having Manu, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan to help guide him and nurture him and develop him. You know what I mean? Even Steph Curry had some veterans on his team coming up. It wasn't like, all right, let's just give it to Steph and let him run, 40 something minutes. He had some veterans those first couple of years. And so I just, those fans are delusional. That says that, man. Those, to me, those fans are delusional.
Two things, and you made this point eloquently earlier. You really don't know anything about these guys yet. So far, they're playing well in Summer League. So does that mean these are NBA stars? It doesn't mean that. Hopefully they are, but if you're going to take 2 Summer League games and say, these guys are stars in the NBA, you really don't know that yet. Hopefully, but you're really taking a leap there. And then the other thing is, I understand the argument is, look, if you play the young guys next year, you're not going to win many games, and then you're going to have a better chance for higher picks in what's supposed to be a really good draft next year. And I understand that, but we also know that that's a very difficult game to play now. That whole tanking for better picks in the lottery game, teams have been getting burned by that. The way the lottery is set up now, it's not a smart play.
Well, we saw Utah get burned. We saw New Orleans get burned this year. You tank and end up with the 3rd worst record, and all of a sudden get picked number 6 or something and then it's like, man, was it all worth it? And so Utah got lucky, and we'll see how Ace Bailey pans out, but they got lucky because he sort of strong-armed his way, didn't want to work out for anybody, and he sort of fell to them, if you will. And so no, I'm with you. I'm looking at the text line right here, Whitey, and from the 916, they say, I've texted this a couple times. We haven't even really given DeMar, Zach, and Sabonis a chance. So Sabonis was hurt like 10 games. The NBA is a parity league. There's really not much difference from team to team. These are some really good players. Let it ride. That's from Folsom Mike. How about this one from 279? There are a handful of fans complaining and whining, and y'all paint the entire fan base as Debbie Downers. Stop already. That's from Jay. So, and Chris the Mom says those are the impatient bandwagon fans. The loyal fans don't feel that way. I know hundreds of fans that aren't posting on social media, that aren't on the YouTube chat or on the text line, that are supporting the squad and not having. It's just these, as Charles Barkley would say, losers on social media that's coming out with these hot takes. And then the frustrating part about it, if I'm a listener right now, it's we're giving the voice to these social media trolls out there, and they become a conversation here on Sactown Sports 1140 when the real fans, the loyal diehard Kings fans, don't feel this way. Why are we giving these guys and these people on social media a voice on our platform?
Well, the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I think it's really interesting, and I didn't mean to suggest that all fans feel that way, but it's interesting to see this thing kind of bloom on social media over the weekend. I also think there's a really good side of it, and that is that already Scott Perry and the Kings have a lot of fans excited about the young players on the roster. And you go back a few weeks ago, remember it looked like, 22 picks in the draft. It looked like they're not even going to have a first-round pick. Same old Kings, boo. And they went from that to now where you got some fans saying they should just play all the young guys. That's a good thing. I think that's a misguided sentiment, my own opinion, but it's a good thing that you've got your fans energized about your young players again.
No, exactly. I mean, we didn't have that last year,
Right.
because we didn't see Devin Carter, and then fans were excited to see him. We see what Neek can do. We see what Max can do. And so to me, though, you can be excited about the young players without crapping on the veterans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem I have. I want to see Neek play. I want to see Max play. I want them to get their opportunity. But I also want to see what DeMar, Zach, and Domas can do together as well. Why can't we have quality veterans and quality young players? Look at Denver. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, but yet they brought up Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther. Some of their young players got meaningful minutes. Why can't we do both?
Yeah, and they've got some young players, a player or two that were hurt last year. Deron Holmes, that he's got some upside too. So yeah, they've done a good job in that regard. It is interesting because I think it was the day after the draft. I think it was just Jay and I, and we were talking about, let's be honest, if either one of these guys, and it was a day after the whole draft, if either one of these guys, if Clifford or Reynaud, if either one of them ends up being good players, that's good. That's probably a win. And right now, it looks like 2 games in, there's a very legitimate chance that they've hit on both these picks, right? So I'm not saying they're going to be all league, but it's amazing how everybody, I'm sure everybody that you talk to in Vegas, I mean, it's the consensus. The Kings scored on these draft picks, and that's really well done. If that ends up being the case, great job by Scott Perry at a time when the franchise needed it.
Right, 100%. It's we needed, even all off season during the year last season. We talked about where's our young future. Where are the young players that give us hope outside of Keegan and Keon? And now, with these 2 draft picks. Max, a lot of people thought should have been a first rounder. And now you got Neek as well. It's like, all right, now we're starting to get some pieces, in the next 3 to 5 years. I'm interested to see how good these guys can be. Can they be all-star level? Can they be starter level? And so far, it looks like, like you said, the Kings have hit on these picks.
Mm-hmm.